What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Tuesday, May 7th, 2024, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now, it is 15:16 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from Israel and Europe, and also here at home in the United States. So, I want to update you guys on Israel first. But before I do that, I want to just show you guys some concerning flight paths over the United States today and last night. So, what you're looking at here are the flight paths of a U.S. presidential Doomsday plane, and it was actually flying with its transponder off, and it got aerially refueled over northern Kansas. And at the same time, we had a U.S. B-52 nuclear bomber in the air. So here's a close-up shot of the Doomsday plane that was flying with its tracker turned off, and it turned it on right after it got aerially refueled in northern Kansas. And here's the aerial refueler, a KC-135R that took off from Lincoln, Nebraska, and it met the Doomsday plane near Hill City, Kansas. So very concerning. We also have a lot of sub-hunter activity off the U.S. East Coast today. So what you're looking at here are three Boeing P-8 Poseidon sub-hunter planes, one looping off the coast of Florida, one was off the coast of Virginia, and one is looping near the mouth of the Chesapeake Bay. So our sub-hunters are very active today off the eastern United States coastline. And late last night, we had 10 aerial refuelers take off from Travis Air Force Base in California, and they all flew up towards the Canadian border in Montana and then turned around and came back to Travis Air Force Base. Very interesting. There were several KC-135s and several KC-46 Pegasus planes with the call signs of Grim. And usually these KC-46 Pegasus aerial refuelers with the call sign Grim are responsible for refueling our bombers mid-air. Okay, so about 10 of these refuelers flew up to the Canadian border last night, turned around and came back. Very, very concerning. Here's a close-up shot of all of these aerial refuelers. I've never seen anything like this before, and I could only select 6 of them. There were so many, I couldn't even select all of them and show them to you, but you can see probably about 10 right here in this screenshot. So I want to update you guys on the situation in Israel. So it does look like Israel has started their Rafah offensive. And what you're looking at here is some video footage showing an Israeli main battle tank running over a welcome to Gaza sign somewhere on the outskirts of Rafah. So we're hearing now that Israeli ground forces are now confirmed to be in full control of the Rafah border crossing between Egypt and southern Gaza, with all entry points for humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip now under Israeli control. And Israeli Channel 12 is reporting that a large group of Gazans tried to enter Egypt last night from Rafah, but were beaten back by the Egyptian army. So very interesting. And maybe they were high-level Hamas operatives that were trying to flee. Netanyahu posted a video address on his Twitter account today, and he said in the video, "We started operating in Rafah. We replaced the Hamas flags with Israeli flags. We will continue until absolute victory." Wow, strong words from Netanyahu. And Israel's ground incursion into Rafah is going to be very limited and designed to achieve tactical military goals and put pressure on Hamas in the ceasefire negotiations, an Israeli official told NBC News. I'm not sure I believe that, by the way. I think Netanyahu wants to completely take over Rafah and completely take over Gaza and incorporate Gaza into Israeli territory, which I'm not necessarily opposed to, but that's just what I think Netanyahu's trying to do. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply is doing a discount on their 1 month emergency food supply. And to get the deal, you got to go to preparewithnyprepper.com, and the link is in the description below this video. This is a 1 month freeze dried food supply. It has a 25-year shelf life. Normal price is $237. They've dropped it down to $177. So that's a savings of $60. And it's all packed within 2 rugged, water resistant buckets. Free shipping is included. $177 for 1 month of food. Where are you going to find a deal like that? They also have a general store, and they're always running discounts in their general store on various prepping and survival items. They have everything from MREs, potassium iodide, to survival seeds. And to get to their general store, you got to click on the My Patriot Supply logo at the top of the page when you get to preparewithnyprepper.com. And you'll see when you get there, they have everything you can imagine. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get $60 off the My Patriot Supply 1 month emergency food supply. That's $180 for 1 month of food, free shipping included. The link is in the description below this video. And also check out their general store. They have everything you can imagine prepping and survival related, and they're always running various discounts there. And Egyptian media is reporting that peace talks are underway in Cairo with Egyptian, Qatari, US, and Hamas envoys. Hamas official Osama Hamdan said, "We have set red lines that cannot be waived." So we'll see if these peace talks go anywhere. And an Egyptian security delegation warned its counterparts in Israel of the consequences of storming the Rafah crossing from the Palestinian side, and requested that this movement be stopped immediately. So Egypt has put their army on high alert, and they're warning Israel not to get too close to the border crossing in Gaza with Egypt, because they're afraid that it's going to cause a flood of refugees to try to storm the Egyptian border. So the Egyptians are warning the Israelis not to do that. So, I mean, this could escalate into an all-out war between Egypt and Israel. We'll have to wait and see. And Biden said today, "Our support for Israel is firm and will not change, even if there are differences." And the U.S. has apparently been holding back several shipments of weapons to Israel for at least the past 2 weeks, according to a person familiar with the matter who told this to Reuters. And the Biden administration is reportedly holding up shipments of 2 types of Boeing-made precision bombs to send a political message to Israel, according to a U.S. official and 6 other people with knowledge of the deliberations. So absolutely crazy, guys. Biden is holding back shipments of weapons and precision bombs to Israel to try to put pressure on Israel to negotiate with Hamas. And what you're looking at here is a picture of an Israeli flag at the Rafah border crossing. Okay, you can see it right there. They took down the Palestinian flag and put up an Israeli flag. And the Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant reiterated that the operation in Rafah will not stop until Hamas has been eliminated in the area and until the last hostage returns to Israel. And China's foreign ministry spokesman strongly calls on Israel to heed the overwhelming demands of the international community and stop attacking Rafah. So China is against the Rafah operation. And Iran's nuclear chief says Iran is ready to help Saudi Arabia develop its peaceful nuclear program. That's really bizarre because Iran hates Saudi Arabia. So I don't know if Iran is trying to turn Saudi Arabia against Israel right now because of the operation in Rafah and Gaza. And here we have some video footage coming out of the Rafah border crossing area. We have an Israeli armored personnel carrier with massive Israeli flags. Absolutely insane. Look at the size of that flag. So the Israelis have seized control of the entire border between Palestine and Egypt. Okay, so they've basically surrounded Rafah, and they've already moved their tanks just to the east of Rafah. So they're going to actually go into the city any day now. Okay, and I am very concerned that when Israel goes into Rafah and when they actually conclude this operation, that we're going to see massive unrest here in the U.S. We're going to see a lot of these pro-Hamas riots break out in big cities and in colleges. I also am very concerned about terror attacks here in the U.S. and in Europe. And I'm also concerned for our troops in the Middle East because I think the Iranian proxies are going to step up their attacks. So get prepared, guys. Things are going to be escalating this summer. We also have the situation in Europe to be concerned with. So apparently Belarus is going to be joining Russia's tactical nuclear weapons drills. According to Belarusian Defense Minister Viktor Krenin, Belarus will practice strikes with tactical nuclear weapons as part of testing carriers of tactical nuclear weapons at the country's training grounds. This involves the Iskander and Polonaise systems, as well as a squadron of Sukhoi 25 aircraft. Okay, so they're going to practice deploying tactical nuclear weapons with their fighter jets and with their short-range ballistic missile systems, the Iskander and Polonaise. Okay, so this is very concerning, guys. Okay, we know that Poland has officially applied to the U.S. to be a part of the NATO nuclear sharing mission or NATO nuclear strike mission, where Poland would receive at least 20 or maybe more B-61 nuclear gravity bombs that Poland could use to bomb Belarus or even Russia if there were some kind of an escalation. And those B-61 nuclear gravity bombs have a blast yield of 340 kilotons, which is absolutely massive. And Poland's F-16s could be used to deliver them, or Poland's new F-35s, which are on the way and set to arrive this year and next year in Poland, could be used as well. And basically those F-35s would then turn into mini stealth bombers. And the Ukrainian intelligence service, the SBU, foiled an assassination plot on the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, as well as on the head of Ukraine's military intelligence, Kyrylo Budanov, and the head of the SBU, Malyuk, and other high-ranking officials. Apparently, a network of Russian agents of the Fifth Service of the Russian FSB were preparing the assassination. Wow, that is huge news, guys. And Putin had his inauguration today for his re-election, and he gave a speech, and I want to read to you some of the main statements from his speech. He said, "I want to salute our heroes, the members of the Northern Military District, and all those who fight for our homeland. Conversations, including those on security and strategic stability, are only possible under equal conditions and with respect for each other's interests. In a complex world, we must strive for self-sufficiency and competitiveness. Russia will continue to collaborate with its partners to shape a multipolar world order. Together as a united people, we will overcome all obstacles and realize our plans. We will ensure that individuals who have demonstrated their loyalty to the homeland through their actions occupy leadership positions in the government." So, strong words there from Vladimir Putin. And Reuters is reporting that bugging devices have been found in a Polish government meeting room. And the EU has proposed restrictions on 11 ships believed to be part of a shadow fleet of vessels that help Russia evade sanctions, Bloomberg reported today. Russia has already threatened retaliation against Denmark if Denmark blocks passage of these ships through the Danish Straits. And Ukraine and Spain finalized talks on the text of a bilateral security agreement. President Volodymyr Zelensky said on May 7th after a call with Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez. So another bilateral security agreement for Ukraine. They already have one with the UK. They have one with France. They have one with the US. And now they have one with Spain. Okay, and I'm not sure if they have one with Poland also. And the UK Defense Secretary Grant Shapps is saying that they cannot rule out state involvement in the massive British Ministry of Defense hack that surfaced yesterday and today. So, very concerning, guys. There was some type of a hack in Britain. Basically, the entire British military was hacked. And what you're looking at here are the flight paths of several NATO and Polish reconnaissance planes operating over northern Poland and in the Baltic Sea. We're continuing to see a massive amount of reconnaissance in Poland and in the Baltic countries. So what we have here is Jake 17, which is a RC-135, which is a reconnaissance plane, and it was flying parallel back and forth dozens of times to the Kaliningrad shoreline. Kaliningrad is a Russian province sandwiched between Lithuania and Poland. We also had a Polish maritime office plane flying in the same area as well. We also had an AWACS plane operated by NATO flying over northern Poland. And then there was also a German aerial refueler operating over northeastern Poland, but this is actually not an aerial refueler. It's a recon plane that's disguised as an aerial refueler on the flight tracker. So it shows up as an aerial refueler on the flight tracker, but it's actually reconnaissance plane, and it was looping here in northeastern Poland, keeping an eye on Kaliningrad and the Suwalki Gap. And then we also had this U.S. Air Force aerial refueler operating over northwest Poland. So something big is about to go down in the Baltics and in Poland. So we have to be on high alert, guys. It's very possible that Putin may attack the Baltics and even Poland this year to create a distraction while he pushes forward in Ukraine and collapses the front lines in Ukraine. So, very serious situation there in the Baltics. And we also had this U.S. Air Force reconnaissance plane patrolling the South China Sea and the coastline of China here. This is very unusual. It took off from Okinawa and it flew near the Taiwan Strait. It did a couple of loops here near Hong Kong, and then it went all the way to Vietnam, and then it turned around and went around the Spratly Islands and the Paracel Islands, and then it turned around and went back to Okinawa. This is extremely concerning, guys. I've never seen this before. And this is a RC-135 Combat Sentinel plane. There's only 2 of these planes in the U.S. Air Force inventory, and they're based out of the 55th Wing in Offutt Air Base, home of Strategic Command. These planes send information directly to the President and the Joint Chiefs, okay? So it's a high-priority reconnaissance plane. If they have this thing up in the air somewhere, it means something serious is about to go down, and they need to collect information, and it's high priority information, okay? So this plane in particular can pick up radio signals and also the locations of radars, okay? So this thing was trying to pick up the Chinese military radars and radio signals in this area of the South China Sea and near Hong Kong, near the Taiwan Strait. At the same time, we also had a U.S. Air Force reconnaissance plane going back and forth along the North Korea-South Korea border here, okay? So things are brewing in Asia. That's a wild card area that we have to monitor. We know there's going to be escalation in Europe. We know there's going to be escalation in the Middle East. The wild card now is Asia. When is Asia going to kick off? Okay, it seems like Asia is late to the party, but I do believe they will join the party soon. Here's a closer look at that reconnaissance plane flying along the DMZ here in South Korea. Wanted to just update you guys on that U.S. soldier that was arrested in Russia. Russia is claiming that this is not related to espionage and that this U.S. soldier was arrested for theft. Apparently, he was visiting his girlfriend in Vladivostok in eastern Russia, in the Russian Far East, And apparently he traveled all the way through China to get to Vladivostok without a Pentagon clearance, according to the U.S. Army. He was a staff sergeant. His name was Gordon Black. Okay, so this is not just some nobody. He was a staff sergeant that traveled through China without Pentagon clearance to Vladivostok. And apparently he traveled there to meet his girlfriend. So something weird about this. I don't know what, but it looks like he did get arrested. Here's a picture of him. And I did see a video of him from 2 years ago with his girlfriend. And it seems like he was a turncoat in the sense that he sympathized with Putin and the Russian side. So he could basically be a traitor. And I don't know why they would arrest him for that, but he could be a traitor. TikTok is suing the Biden administration for trying to force it to break up. And there was a drive-by shooting at Drake's mansion in Toronto. One of his security guards was shot in the chest. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. I will be back later on tonight with more breaking news, so make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell icon down below so you get notified when I post these updates. Also, check out my Telegram channel. I'm going to be sharing stuff on Telegram that I can't share over here, and I'm also going to be posting all of my updates to Telegram. So if you ever have difficulty finding my updates for whatever reason, you can go to my Telegram, and they're all going to be over there. And my Telegram is t.me/NYPrepper1. I'll leave a link to my Telegram in the comments down below. I also have a Patreon account, okay, patreon.com/NYPrepper. Information is in the description. And also, don't forget to comment, hit the thumbs up button. And until next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. Attention hand loaders, check out Cutting Edge Bullets for some of the best bullets in the industry. They also sell loaded ammo now, and I'm partnering with them to give you a 20% discount. And to get the discount, all you got to do is use the promo code NYPrepper to get 20% off your entire order. And Cutting Edge Bullets makes the best bullets for bear defense and for big bore rifles, big bore handguns. They also make some really, really good bullets for long range enthusiasts, very high BC bullets that are turned on a lathe. So check them out, cuttingedgebullets.com. Use the promo code NYPrepper to get 20% off. I've done a lot of testing with their big bore bear defense bullets and solids, and I can tell you that they have the best solids in the business. So I'm going to leave a link to their website and the promo code in the description below this video, but it's cuttingedgebullets.com, promo code NYPrepper to get 20% off of your entire order, and check out some of their new loaded ammo if you're not a hand loader.